Don't you feel na pinangungunahan kayo ng mga kaalyadong senador ni VP Sara? Because for yung ang reaksyon ng ilan leaves a bad taste in the mouth na itong mga senador na uupong hurado na West. Si kayo ang uupong senator judges. If and when matuloy yung impeachment trial, nalilitisin. Pero kayo mismo ang naghahain ng motion to dismiss. Bakit hindi nyo na lang ipaubaya dun sa mga abogado ni VP Sara na kapag nag-convene na sa impeachment court, hayaan nyo yung mga abogado ni VP Sara maghain ng motion to dismiss. Bakit yung mga senador na uupo as judges?
Sa aming pananaw naman po,
pag pinakinggan kayo, di ba, parang, tama naman sila ang kampo ni VP Sara. Pag pinakinggan mo naman yung kabilang panig, tama rin naman sila, hindi ba? But you cannot argue facts if it's based on factual errors. So hindi ko alam kung saan, we don't know, it's open, no, na kung saan hahantong to, na kung repasuhin ba ng Korte Suprema na, ayun pala yung facts, kung titignan natin yung House Journal, whatever. But educate us nga, Attorney Mike. Kasi usually,
Attorney Michael, kanina we played the thought ni VP Sara na sabi niya she was really looking forward to a bloodbath. And so parang now, because of this ruling of the Supreme Court, and although we're still waiting for their decision dito sa motion of reconsideration nila, kung matutuloy, it will be, there's an option, di ba, to refile it next year, February 6 ang binibigay. Such time, during that time, if ever dumating na po tayo sa ganun, do you really see it becoming a bloodbath? When she says bloodbath, is this just a rhetoric? Is this just a figure of speech? Or you see that it's going to be very long, the bodies, the evidence that she has to present, ang dami-dami, for her to be able to fight for her case?
well, unang-unang sa lahat, yung bloodbath, kasi nga I'm no longer her spokesperson, but I do recall an interview recently where she explained the bloodbath. No? Ang sabi nga niya, baka na-misinterpret siya doon sa bloodbath because she was talking about her own blood being spilled because everyone's out to get her.
Okay.
Yun ang at least yung naalala ko na explanation niya. But I do affirm and attest to the fact that she really wanted to go to trial because all along when we would meet her as a defense team, sabi niya mag-trial tayo, 'di ba? So sa amin naman as lawyers, syempre kasi ang sasabihin ng tao, gusto niyo pala mag-trial, bakit kayo nag-file sa Supreme Court ng petition, 'di ba? So sa amin bilang mga abogado niya, syempre we couldn't turn a blind eye kung alam namin na may mga procedural defects o infirmities doon sa nangyari. And when we talk about technicalities, hindi po ito simpleng may papel na hindi napirmahan na na-submit na kasi yan ang idea natin ng technicality. What we're talking about here is the 1-year bar, which is some people say it's a technicality, yes, but it is a safeguard that is actually enshrined also in the Constitution. So, it's not a technicality in the usual sense. And then, sa amin naman, when you mentioned, ma'am, the third one, are we envisioning na maraming ebidensya na kailangan ipakita? I think so. Talaga namang ganun yan. No? But, huwag din natin kalimutan na in our legal system, initially, the burden of proof is on the accuser. So, sila ang magpapakita muna ng mga ebidensya. At then, pag napakita nila yung ebidensya nila, then mag-shift yung burden of proof ngayon sa defense. Kami naman ang magpapakita. So, definitely, we were preparing for it since in fact, even before February kasi we were already anticipating
parang anticlimactic nga itong nangyari, di ba? Na yung handang-handa na kayo, di ba? Na talagang excited na kayo, dumating doon sa punto doon, hindi naman pala, di ba?
Pero, kailangan din po kasi talaga nating isaayos yung naging proseso.
Correct.
I would think. So,
Ngayon, ito ang tanong ko. How does the defense team feel? Kayong mga members ng defense team ni VP Sara, na don't you feel na pinangungunahan kayo ng mga kaalyadong senador ni VP Sara? Because for yung ang reaksyon ng ilan leaves a bad taste in the mouth na itong mga senador na uupong hurado na West. Si kayo ang uupong senator judges. If and when matuloy yung impeachment trial, nalilitisin. Pero kayo mismo ang naghahain ng motion to dismiss. Bakit hindi nyo na lang ipaubaya dun sa mga abogado ni VP Sara na kapag nag-convene na sa impeachment court, hayaan nyo yung mga abogado ni VP Sara maghain ng motion to dismiss. Bakit yung mga senador na uupo as judges?
sa aming pananaw naman po, no, and sa aking personal na pananaw, hindi naman natin masasabi na napangunahan tayo or anything because we have to remember there was a Supreme Court decision that was issued recently and it said number one na void ab initio no for violating the 1-year bar rule and secondly for also yung due process issues, no, and then after that, sinabi rin ng court na because it's void ab initio, hindi nagkaroon ng jurisdiction na mag-convene even as an impeachment court. So, sa bagay na yon, kahit kami mga abogado, hindi rin po kami makapaghain ng motion to dismiss dahil wala ngang jurisdiction para magkaroon man lang ng impeachment court.
Hindi ko nga alam kung may personality yung Senate sitting as a legislative
Exactly.
body to act on it.
Yes,
diba?
exactly.
That was a
So,
question, number
opo.
one. But I was talking about yung June 10. Yung the first time that they convened. Na
Opo.
nag-robe sila, 19th Congress.
Opo.
And it was a senator judge who filed itong motion to dismiss. Na yung
Si
parang
Senator
ang reaction
Bato.
nga, si Batorni.
Bato.
Opo.
Kasi bakit hindi mo ipaubayan na lang sa mga abogado ni VP Sara?
Well, from the defense team perspective, medyo mahirap po sa amin mag-comment out of due respect to the senators, no? Whether for us or against us. Kasi when I say for us and against us, doesn't mean for and against Sara. It's really for and against our position on the matter. No? So it's very hard out of due deference and respect to the senators. Hindi po talaga kami nagko-comment on the proceedings of the Senate. In fact, kahit itong botohan na nangyari the other day, we've been shying away from commenting on it kasi these are internal to them. Eh.
Oo,
Sa amin,
understandably
we're
naman.
more focused on the legal side din po. No?
So pag ano na lang is if and when we come to the point na mag-convene, kung magkaroon ng trial mismo.
Apo.
Okay?
Apo.
But pag ganun din ba, covered din ng sub judice yon?
Ang alin po? Ang,
Kapag kunwari impeachment trial na, hindi mo pwedeng himayin yung merits nung nangyayari sa... Ganun din ba, ganun din yung panuntunan? Kasi sa regular courts, ganun, di ba?
Opo.
Mako-contempt ka pag masasub judice ka.
Opo.
If you talk about discuss the merits of the case, di ba?
Opo.
Of a pending case. Ganun
Opo.
din ba pag impeachment trial?
I would be of the position na yes po. The only difference is public naman kasi yung impeachment
din,
trials
oo.
natin. No? If you remember during the trial of President Estrada, the impeachment trial of Chief Justice Corona, public kasi siya eh. So
Oo.
actually nakikita na ng
Hinihimay
public. Nakikita ng
talaga.
public. But even if sabihin natin na pwede mag-discuss ng merit, siyempre sa amin as a defense team, kaya hindi rin kami nagpapa-interview the past few months. We also don't want to talk about the merits because siyempre number one, we don't want to telegraph our defenses.
Correct.
And secondly, ayaw naman nating masubject ang ating kliyente to a trial by publicity and out of due respect din sa mga senator judges, hindi ba? Ayaw nating mag-impluwensya kaagad ng either pro or against their stance.
Oo. So, Attorney Michael, ito na, in-archive na nga ng Senado. Tapos, hinihintay, di ba, yung desisyon, yung sa motion for reconsideration, kasi marami talagang nag-aapela na sana balikan no, ng Supreme Court. Although it's executory, hindi pa daw final. So, between now and then, and February 5 also, where are you now in terms of preparation? Would you say you're already prepared anytime by tomorrow? Kung kasakali lumabas na yan, handa na kayo? Or you still need more time to build the case more para at least yung Vice President natin, you can assure her of victory? Where are you right now?
The defense team has always felt ready to go into trial. We've been preparing, we've been meeting regularly since February, and yung mga lawyers naman na kasama namin, with Attorney Sig Fortun, Attorney Sheila Sison, at sila Attorney Vinluan and Attorney Bodota, we've known each other, no? So we've been working together.
How many are you in her battery of lawyers? 17? Tama ba yung nabasa?
16, but
16.
that's because kasama naman talaga yung Fortuna Arvasa
Law firm.
Salazar as a firm. So
Pro
and then
bono ba
outside.
yan? Pro bono.
Sa akin po.
Oo.
But,
Bilang BFF.
but
Ramore, nagsidipo, gratis sa Tamore. Alam bayan.
no, but siyempre po, when there are expenses, siyempre po, no, may ano din naman kami
Magastos eh, di ba?
Yeah,
nagcha-charge.
filing lang.
Kasi si VP Sara was complaining about the expenses nung
Trips niya. Oo, yung trips
hindi,
niya.
yung defense ni
Si Kaufman, kay
former
Kaufman.
President Rodrigo Duterte. Di ba, if I remember right, she already talked about yung papasa na yung naggastos doon sa defense po ng kanyang tatay, and then taken into consideration din itong kung meron siyang gastos.
Oo.
Anyway, just go ahead with what you were
oo.
saying.
So you were saying na you're ready for trial and then anytime. So anytime ready na po kayo.
Opo, we feel that we're ready. Siyempre, when you say you're ready as you can be. Pagdating naman ng trial, di rin natin alam. Depende sa mga ebidensya na ilalabas ng kabila. We are ready to also react accordingly doon sa mga, or to rebut kung ano man yun.
Oo.
Okay.
Whichever way the Supreme Court decides, no, kung i-reverse niya yung ruling niya o hindi. But magtatagal kasi baka may 2026 pa. Attorney Michael Powa, because I'm sure kung hindi sila magtatagumpay na, if the Supreme Court says hindi, they're not going to reverse itong kanilang ruling. And then, because of the one-year bar rule, February 6, 2026 na pwedeng muling mag-ahin. And we already, right this early, we're already presuming na handa na rin sila na maghain muli ng panibagong impeachment complaint in 2026. So, kayo pa rin yun.
Well, of course, that depends on the Vice President kasi siya naman ang may choice kung sinong mga abogado niya, no? And of course, it depends on how she feels about the work that we've been doing. So I guess that question is best directed to her.
And what will happen from now till marami pang mangyayari, no?
Opo, but all the same, na pag tinatanong nga kami, sa tingin mo ba magkakaroon pa ng second pagkatapos ng one-year bar? You know, that is a very real possibility, di ba? So, and ang trabaho namin to always anticipate any eventuality. So, pati po yun, talagang nasa iniisip namin na malaki yung posibilidad na mangyari yun. And so, tuloy-tuloy lang ang preparasyon
in
namin.
terms of the Vice President's state of mind, no, is she, because nga ang daming dagok ngayon, no, yung father niya nandoon, tapos ito depending impeachment case, and then there was even one interview, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard parang she's not even thinking already of 2028 parang pinagsasantabi na niya. So in terms of her political career, where is she right now? What does she want to achieve, or what is her instructions to you? Is this, you must win this case, because aside from vindicating myself, I want to run in 2028, or I just want to vindicate myself and then I'll take it from there.
I cannot speak on the political side, not being her spokesperson anymore, but on the legal side, wala namang you must win this case. But obviously, because she feels she hasn't done anything wrong, so our job was to really present the case and really mailatag natin yung facts, yung nangyari, and to rebut whatever allegation they had. No? So yun naman yung ano niya. And the Vice President, from my experience working for her sa DepEd and even for a very short time sa OBP as her spokesperson, ano naman siya, compartmentalized. So meaning, even if she's dealing with these things, she's still able to do her work as the Vice President. So pagdating naman sa amin, it was always a constant communication pagdating sa legal team whenever we needed to consult her. In fact, the Vice President, from my own personal experience, and this is my personal knowledge, hindi yan yung parang kailangan parate ikaw yung mag-a-adjust sa schedule niya. Minsan conscious din siya sa mga schedule namin as lawyers because we're also private practitioners, we also have other clients. So there are times when siya pa rin ang magtatanong sa amin kung pwede ba kayo sa ganitong araw or pwede ba kayo sa ganyan. So as you can see, her mindset naman is, well, from a lawyer's perspective nowadays, no, is that she's able to do her work, and for the legal, she leaves it mostly to us to come up with a strategy. But syempre, at the end of the day, she has to be consulted on what we do.
Sundot ko lang, is she a good client? As in, does she listen to her lawyer? Or, because she's also a lawyer herself do you find yourself arguing or nakikipagsabihin mo, hindi, VP Sara, kunya sabihin mo, gawin mo yung A. Sabi niya, hindi, gusto ko gawin ng B. So, pag sa ganon, nakikinig ba siya? Does she defer to you? Or she gets her own way? Kasi when you look at her, alam mong very alpha female.
But Mapati, it's good that you brought up that she's a lawyer. So as a client, to be honest, it's easier. Kasi since lawyer yung client mo, naiintindihan niya Kumbaga, ina-explain ko pa lang sa umpisa kung ano yung mga steps. Nakikita na niya yung dulo na gusto naming gawin. So it's easier that way. Of course, hindi mawawala na magkakaroon ng discussions or maybe certain disagreements, but very minor. And I don't even remember a time when there was an argument on anything. Basta, kinuha niya kaming abogado, I suppose, because may tiwala naman siya na alam namin yung trabaho at alam namin yung ginagawa namin. So, it was never difficult to deal with her.
I was just curious.
Forgive my hindi ko naaral yung petition ninyo that you filed with the Supreme Court. But is it in consonance with the ruling of the Supreme Court na sinasabi nga violative of the one-year bar rule? Because nga yung tatlong impeachment complaints na unang impeachment complaints, inupuan, hindi sinunod na yung 10 plus 3 session days rule.
Yes.
And may binabanggit nga kasi violative din nung mismong rules of the 19th Congress.
Yes.
Na whichever mode of initiating the impeachment complaint, kasama na yung by 1/3 vote of the House members, ay dapat na dumaan sa Committee on Justice. So I don't know kung nabanggit din yon dun sa petition ninyo na linabag yung mismong rules ng 19th Congress. And then doon, second part ng question ko is yung violative naman of yung hindi siya nabigyan ng yung due process, di ba? Na hindi nyo kami binigyan ng pagkakataon, hindi nyo kami binigyan ng kopya nitong verified complaint, nung fourth impeachment complaint. Hindi nyo kami binigyan ng pagkakataon na tugunin yung mga aligasyon sa mababang kapulungan without having to wait for the trial in the Senate.
Opo. You have to remember, I have to put this in context, that we filed the petition as the lawyers of the Vice President. So siya yung petitioner doon. But there was also another petition from,
Yung
I think, a group of sila, Attorney Torion, which they filed
And
separately
Kitty,
from us. They're not part of the legal team, but they also filed their own petition. And I don't want to take all the credit when all the credit is not due. No? So, yung aming petition was focused solely on the one-year bar rule. No? Kasi it sa pananaw namin, ayon sa ating saligang batas at kahit sa rules ng House, kailangan pag may nag-file, ma-transmit immediately doon sa ating speaker para maisama sa order of business within 10 session days. And sa aming pananaw, hindi nasunod yon, and that is why we filed the petition for certiorari and prohibition, which means that we wanted the court to declare that there was grave abuse of discretion and that because of certain acts, the one-year bar was triggered. No? So yun yung, suma total, yun yung aming petition. And again, of course, we welcome the decision of the Supreme Court affirming na talagang na-trigger na yung one-year bar rule. But pagdating sa due process, syempre, sa aming petition, innate naman that we also raise due process. But as to the specifics of the due process, I don't want to take all credit for it kasi baka naman kumuha rin doon sa petition nila Attorney Torion.
Torion Delgra yun no?
Opo.
So Attorney Mike, ito nga no, yung Senado in-archive na po nila. Would you have preferred na dinismiss totally? Would it have made any difference? Or is this again terminology lang, archiving, dismiss totally? Kayo po, ano mas naging safe sana kung ano yung naging desisyon po ng Senado?
Siguro i-premise ko lang po yung sagot ko again. I'm sorry if you think I'm being too cautious, but again, we're very conscious about not commenting on the acts of the Senate because we respect them as an institution and the various senators. As you can see during the debate, medyo maganda rin naman yung mga points on either side. Hindi lang yung align sa atin. On either side, maganda yung mga points. Ngayon, with archive and dismissal, sa akin naman, whatever will give spirit to the decision of the Supreme Court, which they said was immediately executory. And they said that not only once, but twice, kasi the second time was during the press statement issued by the spokesperson, when there was already a motion for reconsideration. So, hindi kasi ako wala akong expertise, kumbaga, sa internal rules ng Senate on archiving, and sabi nga kasi nila dun sa diskusyon, wala naman sa rules nilang mag-dismiss, for example. So, archiving, if that was the decision, then we just respect the decision. Because ang sa atin, if it gives life or if it abides or adheres to that Supreme Court decision, now, na since immediately executory, wala kayong magiging impeachment proceedings, yun na rin yun at the end of the day.
So, no effect ito? The terms, that doesn't really
Sa amin, no effect. And even sa motion, tinanong ako kahapon, does that affect your position on the motion for reconsideration? Hindi din po. Because nagdesisyon yung Supreme Court na void. And then, nag-file lang motion for reconsideration. So, syempre, ang thrust lang namin ngayon is to comment and respond to each argument that is raised or was raised dun sa motion for reconsideration.
Yung pumupuna dun sa naging hatol ng Korte Suprema said na yung decision ng Korte Suprema was based on factual errors na yun nga pag pinakinggan kayo, di ba, parang tama naman sila ang company of VP Sara. Pag pinakinggan mo naman yung kabilang panig, tama rin naman sila, hindi ba? But you cannot argue facts if it's based on factual errors. So hindi ko alam kung saan, we don't know, it's open, no, na kung saan hahantong to, na kung repasuhin ba ng Korte Suprema na, yun pala yung facts, kung titignan natin yung House Journal, whatever. But educate us nga, Attorney Mike, kasi usually pag nagbabalita ka, ang desisyon ay final and executory. In one phrase yun, final and executory.
Opo.
In this instance, sa immediately executory, nawala yung final.
Opo.
So, ang ibig sabihin nun, kasi meron pang legal remedy ang House of Representatives.
Yes po.
So, but if kung kunwari, katigan pa rin ng Korte Suprema ngayon, no, they will not reverse their ruling and the first, decision nila stands. Exhausted na ba yung legal remedy ng House? That's it? Kapag denied yung MR nila? Meron pa bang legal remedy after?
Technically, under the rules, yes. No? Magiging, but again, we don't want to speculate dun sa magiging decision. But theoretically, if there is a decision of the Supreme Court at nag-MR ka at na-deny yung MR mo, ang mangyayari po, magiging final na yun.
Final na yun.
Of course, there are instances when in history when lawyers would file second MRs and all that, no? So I don't want to speculate on what's gonna happen, but usually that's the general rule is pag nag-MR ka at na-deny, final na yon. But again, we don't want to speculate kung anong mangyayari. At ang nangyari naman dito kasi, tama po kayo, nung sinabi ng Supreme Court na immediately executory, pero hindi nilagay na final, it's because talaga namang may remedy. And I've always said it is within the right and prerogative of the House to file the MR because that is an available remedy. No, and that's not unique to this. There are decisions, but of course, medyo malayo na yung kaso. No? Like for example, in ejectment cases, may remedy ka pa. Pero immediately executory yung decision. So, there
Kaya
are
tumatagal ng
cases like
dekada
that.
no? Yung mga,
There are.
usually, mga...
Attorney Michael, another school of thought that was also because of this impeachment case, another recommendation was parang at least dapat sana the Supreme Court had oral arguments. Were you ready, if ever the Supreme Court asks for oral arguments, diba, they will have to ask all the stakeholders, all the petitioner, the accuser, the defense, and all that to parang give their case, no, in orally. So, kayo, handa ba kayo? Do you want at least there's an oral argument para at least marinig, hindi lang yung binabasa in yung posisyon? Or do you stand?
Of course, handa kami. Even before lumabas yung decision, no, back in February when we filed it, handa tayo mag-oral arguments kasi it's really just arguing what you already put in your pleading. Pero ngayon po, yung sinasabing dapat nagkaroon ng oral arguments, of course, we respect the opinions of all these experts.
Legal experts.
Giving their comments in the media. We respect all that. But as far as I'm concerned, I think wala namang requirement. And I think inaamin rin naman ng mga experts. It's not naman required.
Yes.
No?
Pero that's what you're saying, sabi nila, at the very least.
That is discretionary on the Supreme Court. But if you're just asking if we're ready naman kami for oral arguments ng panahon na yun. Ready din kami. For whatever the Supreme Court orders, tayo naman bilang mga abogado, syempre susunod lang po talaga tayo. No? Kung gusto nila ng oral arguments, we'll go into it. Kung hindi na kailangan, we'll go with we've already stated our arguments in the pleadings anyway.
Okay.
Sayang at wala na tayong panahon. Marami pa sana akong tanong, ngunit nandito na yung ating susunod na bisita. Much appreciated, Attorney Michael Pua. You're coming over and answering our hard questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am
very
Ali.
much,
Thank you,
Attorney
Ma'am
Michael.
Pat P.